Today we're making pour over coffee. We are gonna need an electric water kettle, a manual coffee grinder, a professional scale to weigh our coffee grains, a scoop for good measurement, and filters, good paper filters for the coffee. And most important, a beautiful pour over vase. Today we're making coffee, pour over coffee. And we're using coffee from Panthers from Ethiopia. Pour over method involves pouring hot water through coffee grounds in a filter. The water drains through the coffee and the filter into the carafe or the mug or the vase. Pouring over is also known as filtered coffee or drip coffee. The first thing we have to do is measure the coffee. The reason we weight coffee instead of measuring it by the scoop is because the same amount of coffee by weight takes up different amounts of volume depending on the grind. In other words, when you weigh out 15 grams of coffee, it will always be the same amount of coffee. So in this basic recipe of pour over coffee, we're gonna use 2 grams of whole bean coffee per 1 ounce of water. So if it's 20 ounces of water, we need twice as many grains in this case. So in this case, we had 152 grams right here. That was the weight of the container. And now we put in the coffee and it's 192, which means that we have 40 grams of coffee for a 20 ounce water ratio. So we got our coffee here. Now I'm gonna put it over here. Nicely. And we're gonna cover it. You see this here? Goes right here. There you go. And now we're gonna start grinding. So here are my 40 grams of coffee beans. Grinded, nothing. The most important thing when preparing coffee is using bottled water. That will give you better taste. Do not use water from the faucet. So the second step is to leave the water so it heats up. Once the water is ready, now the next step, or the grinded coffee, we're gonna put it here with the filter. This is the main filter and this is the paper filter that we're gonna use. I try to use as organic as possible so the taste keeps being great. So here we have our grains, which are already grinded. Fantastic. As I said, this coffee is from Ethiopia, so we're gonna try it and taste it. I haven't tried it before. So we have here our 40 grams of coffee, and now it's time to start pouring the coffee. We start pouring here slowly, so we get the very best in the brew. As you can see down here, you're gonna see that it's starting to pour and it looks beautiful. And now that it is almost brewed, this is why it's called pour over, because as you can see here, we have now the coffee. Now we're gonna take this away and we're gonna put this. We have the final result. Look at this baby. So now it's time to pour over and we're gonna have our final result of the coffee. And here is 20 ounces of the beautiful Ethiopian coffee. And as I always say, live al 100% and let's enjoy this beautiful coffee. Yeah!